Some of you will remember the stick that Kath and I received a while ago during one of the Sunday live streams at not knowing the old hymn, "Now Thank We All Our God." And evidently many members know it so well, and lots of people messaged in to say they were shocked and appalled that we didn't know it, and we joked that it must be because we're young. But anyway, I'd chosen the lyrics to be a prayer to do with thanksgiving, just because I thought they were so powerful and they really spoke into the situation that we as a community and indeed as a world are going through right now with the coronavirus. But little did I know the amazing story behind why this song was written. And so I'd like to share a bit of the history of the hymn, if I may, before we actually listen to a version which has been kindly recorded for us by the worship group. And of course, now that I've heard the song, I recognise the tune. It's very famous and it's very cheerful, actually. And yet the story behind why it was written is anything but cheerful. Yet it points to a truth, something which is so profound, that whatever we're going through, whatever suffering we're facing, whatever darkness that surrounds us, there is always reason to give thanks in Jesus Christ. So the song was written by Martin Rinkart, a German Lutheran minister who lived in the 1600s. And he also lived during the 30-year war, which, as you can guess, lasted 30 years. But it actually claimed the lives of about 8 million people in Europe. It was a terrible time in history. And Martin Rinkart lived in a German city of Eilenberg, which has got walls all the way around it, a bit like Jericho or York. And because of that, it acted as a refuge, a haven, so to speak, for people who were fleeing the horrors of war, for the sick, for those who were starving. And Martin Rinkart opened up his home to care for many, many people. And as a minister, one of his jobs was to preside over funerals. And it's estimated in 1 year alone, he took about 4,000 funerals, including that of his wife. And it was during this time that he penned this famous hymn. And that's just remarkable, isn't it? That in the midst of such suffering and personal tragedy, he could write these words which point to rejoicing in God and giving thanks to him. And it's believed that actually he used this song with his children at mealtimes as a way of saying grace and of reminding themselves of the hope that they have in their Saviour. And in it, he talks of the peace and the grace that God gives us, and the promise that he's with us and that he will bring an end to suffering. And that is ultimately what I hope that we will take from this today as we listen to this song, that we would be encouraged in our faith and that we would be reminded that we have hope today. Because ultimately, we could just say, well, we have hope because, look, we're not going through a situation that's as bad as Martin Rinkart. But that's not the reason for our hope. Our hope is not found in comparing ourselves to others who are suffering more than us. Our hope is found in knowing that God is with us, whatever we go through, and that he has suffered, and that he has conquered sin and death, and that because of that, we have a hope, a promise that all suffering will one day end. And so today, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're struggling with, I hope and pray that you will be strengthened in your faith in him.
God, through all our lives be near us with ever joyful hearts and blessed peace to cheer us and keep us in his grace and guide us when perplexed and bring us in